I'm bringing you
versus Team FBR
versus Team FBR race here at the Donington Park for the GT4 class, and this is my first time in the commentary box here. So I guess hi, I'm Nedzo. I'll try and do this to a satisfactory level, but if I don't blame me. I'm brand new. But yeah, we're just watching the last couple of minutes of practice here. Some drivers right at the top. There's collision already between Davis and one of the other. Well, I'm not sure who that other driver was. We can have a little flick through there. A collision 2 seconds into my first stream. If that isn't chaos, then I don't know what is. I think he's just returned to the pits now, in absolute frustration as to what's just gone on. But we're just watching the drivers make their way through the last couple of minutes of free practice. A lot of them in the pits, it seems. However, there are still some guys out on circuit. GT Jimbo is one of them. The pack is actually, for the most part, quite compact in terms of drivers so far. I'm not sure if practice times will assimilate to qualifying times or in fact the race times, but the top 23 covered by 2.7 seconds, which is fairly close on a circuit like Donington Park. I mean, it's not the longest of tracks, but it is still quite difficult to manage. I've tried driving around here, and I think it's too narrow for me to be able to drive competently without crashing every 5 seconds. But I suppose that's why I'm in the commentary box and not driving this place. Let me just get the stuff up on my phone so I can make sure everything is all fine and dandy. But yeah, we'll hope. We've got 1 minute and 25 seconds left of practice as someone has decided they're going to kick up some dust. But yeah, so some drivers coming out right at the end here. I'm not sure why they'd come out with 1 minute remaining. But I suppose they know better than I do when it comes to endurance racing in general. So yeah, we've got 1 minute left, but some drivers still out on circuit. So it seems that the two Team FBR guys, RB Racing and Adrian, are leading the way at the moment. And it's a mixed bag, really. We aren't seeing one team clearly pull away against each other. I don't know what the point system will be. I'm not entirely clued up on that, but it seems pretty close. One team isn't dominating compared to the other. There are some people that are much slower at the back. I'm not sure if they just haven't had a good practice, haven't managed to get a good setup, or something to that effect. But someone stopped. Is that someone stopped on the inside of the corner coming into the chicane? That's not ideal position to be in. Emmanuel Mercado has just come out onto circuit. I think that's our 29th driver in the session. We'll have a quick flick through and see if there's anyone of any particular note. There's 2 cars going side by side here, 2 McLarens going side by side into the chicane here, but no one seems to be really pushing at the moment, and this is where someone pops in a fastest qualifying time that no one expected, or fastest time in general. The session is now over. We've got a maximum wait time of 2 minutes to let everyone, I assume, complete their laps. But overall, we are hopefully going to be able to go into a seamless. I'm not sure if we do a qualifying session. I'm used to F1 league racing, so I'm used to being practice, then qualifying, then race. It's all very structured and it's all very thing. I like to branch out though, so this is why I'm doing this here and now. And what I'll do actually is I'll get the YouTube stream up, or whatever up, and try and see where this is going. Let me just turn my volume down so I'm not hearing myself, because the last thing I want to do is hear my own voice. 10 viewers currently, but I can't see anything in the chat. I'm not sure if that's just because I am brand new to the chat. But yeah, how is your guys' day going? Have you had a fantastic day? Have you had a less than ideal day? Let's see what that's like. As people are stopping, I assume that's because they have completed their laps and that aren't allowed to continue. Yep, that is indeed the case, and we are getting ready for a 15-minute qualifying session here. Let's see how many drivers we have. We have 28 drivers currently in the session. Hello, Mother D, with your waving hands. I would wave back, but you can't see my... you can't see me. So Yeah, I mean, let me just... I was going to check, because I'm streaming on my own Twitch channel, but the thing is I usually incorporate... Oh, I think I've not disabled ads on my Twitch channel, so I'll have to go and check that out quickly as we see the drivers gear up for their fast laps. I'm not sure how I'd be able to incorporate ads onto a stream. What I can do actually is allow ads on my Twitch, but then as soon as I wouldn't be able to obviously put ads on the current stream. Let me just go on my Twitch channel and check. This is bad preparation from me. If you ever do commentary yourself, don't go into a stream completely unawares of what's going on, because that's what I've just done. We'll go on board. Who should we go on board with? Who's the first car out on track? The number 77 is that. I can't see who that is. Oh, it's Diz. It's this guy. Let's go on board with him as we hold on. Let me just go onto the video producer. There we go. Let's go here onto the stream manager, and I will operate ads, but hopefully they won't come through on our stream. They might come through, or they shouldn't, because it's Twitch to YouTube. Good evening all. Had to watch as Dan is looking forward to it. Let's hope he does do well. So Diz is currently ceded position to one of the Aston Martins. I assume that everyone will be gearing... I assume you won't go for a push lap first time round, because I have driven this game, although I'm quite a noob when it comes to ACC. The tyres do not come up to temperature within one lap around any circuit, really. And even if they do, everything else, it just feels weird. And plus, it's not like Formula 1, where tyres degrade quickly. So I assume you can sacrifice one lap to go for another. Whitcomb, I think, is that not Whitcomb who's first around the lap? No, it's not. It's a number... These are tiny numbers that I can't see. Is that number... I'll have to see. I'll just flick through and see if I can find by chance whoever that car is in the lead. I can't see. Is that number 8 actually that I've just seen? I thought it was 18 and it's actually 8. I am correct. It's Jay Goudet who is coming to, or Goudet, I don't know how to pronounce that. This is going to be another thing that I'm going to have to learn. As we're coming towards the national chicane here at Donington Park. The problem is I can't see from this outboard shot whether they're actually on push laps. I know for a fact that he isn't, because he's just pulled over to the side, I think. As we switch over to... who am I going to switch over to now? I can see one of the 24 car is leading the way, as it's Adrian from Team FBR who is leading one of his... I assume that's one of his... actually 18 in front of him. He said it was an 18. Please don't tell me there's multiple cars, as they are finally setting fast laps now. Adrian, followed by Sully, followed by Michael, and RB Racing go back to the top again. They're in the 135, so they're slightly slower than they were in practice. But they hopefully will be able to rubber in the track a little bit and go for it later on. We're going to look towards and see what is going on in this session. As D. Davis goes to the top. So 1 minute 34. The first driver into the 1 minute 34s. We'll hope to catch the other drivers as they come up to the line. There's still some drivers who haven't set any lap times yet. It is definitely going to be a struggle for me to pick out the numbers of the drivers that haven't come across the line yet. Clouden has just gone across the line. I'm not sure what position he took. Has he just crossed the line, or is that just me being blind and not seeing he's not across the line? It is, in fact, me being blind, so don't take my word for anything, is what you can learn from that. Chesin, meanwhile, has gone well deep at the final hairpin and clattered the outside. I assume that'll be a return to garage. Yep, it will be. Clouden coming up to the line. He's going to go onto or she or he or whatever, they are going to go onto a flying lap. They haven't completed a valid flying lap at the end of that one. Jay Gooday is going to come. We've got a 420 car. That's quite funny. Yeah, it doesn't help that it loads polygons when I'm trying to switch between drivers. But Jay Gooday is trying to at least make an inroad on today's running, I assume, along with the other 27 drivers on track. Some of them are on track, I say. Some of them aren't. Some of them are languishing in the pits and haven't. Maybe they just want to perfect setups. I don't know, or they want to leave it until the track is properly bedded in for them, which is obviously a very valid reason not to go out on track. At least it is in the Formula 1 games if you are a faster driver. But we have 9 minutes left. I personally want to just get out on track as early as possible so I can get used to the track conditions. We haven't had any improvements in terms of everyone of the guys at the top, but in terms of the fastest lap time. But 4 drivers within a tenth, right at the top of the timesheets. 5 drivers within 2 tenths, and it's the top 10 are covered by only half a second. It's probably the more newsworthy part of that equation. So that's pretty incredible. Jay Clouden finally coming around to start another lap. There are yellow flags out on circuit, I think. Is that a yellow flag icon in the top right? Because that was green when we first started. Does that mean it's yellow flags now? Pass. Maybe that's just me being thick. Another Thursday without me co-commentating. Love it. Just sit back and watch. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. In fact, yes. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Do that in a lot and make my job easier or life easier or whatever. Yep, it looks like Ches is the last guy on a lap who hasn't currently completed one. Times are changing at the top. D. Davis goes to the top of the pile on 1 minute 34.8. Michael into P2 on only 69 thousandths of a second slower. And then RB Racing also makes his way into the 1:34s. So they're getting quicker at the front here. The track is at optimum. It says it's optimum in terms of condition, and the temperatures don't look to be in too extreme a window to be able to get them to work. Oh, my bollard has just gone flying, but I'm not sure if there will be any problems with that in the future. Some guys still at the back who haven't set lap times with 7 minutes remaining. Joe, just Joe, nothing else, has just come across the line. I seem to start lap rather than finish one. But we'll see if Jay Clouden can finally set a valid lap time in his McLaren. I'm not sure if people do this on purpose. Again, that's just me lacking the knowledge that other people may have when it comes to GT racing. I'm not sure there be a reason why he's not bedding in fast times so far. It seems like, yeah, we also got a new person, DJ P Hill Green. I'm just going to call him Green because I'm not pronouncing that when I'm trying to say his name fast. But we just watch as... I'll see if I can find anyone as they come up to the line. The number 69 car. Don't tell me there's a 69 car and there's a 420 car. Borrow Bex in the Ginetta. He's gone up to P20, changing positions. M. Tucker coming up to the line as well. As D. Davis has gone back to the top of the timing sheets with the 1 minute 34.6. Sorry for not catching that. I should be paying attention to the guys at the top rather than the guys at the bottom. Michael in P2, followed by Jason Ireland in P3, who's rocketed up from about 10th to 15th place there. Good job from him there to put the McLaren into an advanced position, as he comes through the tricky part of the circuit. I don't actually know corner names around here. I know the Craner Curves and I know Redgate and Old Hairpin. That's it. Oh, I know the chicane and the hairpin, but they're just namesakes. So I'll probably need to look up the names of each of the corners around here because I'm an idiot and I have a great wealth of knowledge about F1 history, but that doesn't help when you go to Donington Park. I know they held one F1 race there. Let me just Google Donington Park circuit. Corner names, there we go. So read this. Alright, okay. So I've got those up now in case I need them. As Matthew Duffin goes to the top of the timing sheets by 0.017 seconds. We have less than 5 minutes remaining here in qualifying. and he's gone to the top of the timesheets. So it's a SimPlay Motorsport 1-2, followed by one Team FBR car, and then behind it is really a crapshoot as to who is where and what is how. We have a couple of drivers coming up to the line. See, I'm used to F1 interfaces, which are a lot more friendly than this when it comes to casuals, but I'm not a casual. I shouldn't be a casual. Cheese comes up to the line. I'm not sure if he's going to set a valid time. He, in fact, doesn't. I'm not sure why there's 3 drivers, or 2 drivers now, because I think, yep, Jay Gooday has just gone 26th and last of those who are currently racing these 7 tenths off the back of the pack, but hopefully for his sake he'll be able to improve on that time, as D. Davis is coming up to the timing line and doesn't improve on that lap, but maybe we should go on board with him for an entire tour of the circuit to see just how he gets on here to the edge of the circuit. I'm used to going on board with people in terms of in the cockpit when I do these onboard laps. However, I'm not sure how to. I've tried playing around with the cameras, and I've found that they're much more confusing. Oh, I just pressed something. No, I haven't. That's good. But we see D. Davis is on a flying lap here. It's unfortunate that because of these camera angles, they are good for, I assume, side-by-side racing, but they're not good when you're trying to see someone on a qualifying lap. Oh, no, I do not want to do that. I was just pressing buttons, seeing what I could do and what I couldn't do. That's not what I want to do. Don't want to report anyone. Whoopsies. Oh, yeah, I've just seen at the bottom it says profile and report. Maybe the 2 buttons that are really important. Maybe I should look at those before I do something. But we are coming towards the last 2 minutes, 43 seconds of qualifying. D. Davis is indeed on a lap. I'm not sure. Oh my God, that's someone. The 160 car, the Aston Martin, has gone off the circuit there in quite a way. NUC Waste off the circuit in quite a big way. And now coming up to the final corner. We'll see if D. Davis can improve to go top of the timesheets. He doesn't, but in the meantime, Sully has gone 0.02 seconds off pole position. They are right at the top there. Drivers will be hoping to get their last couple of laps in. Has anyone not set a lap time yet? Still, Green hasn't. But I assume at the top of the timesheets it will start getting quite freaky. There are blue flags waving. I'm not sure why blue flags in qualifying. I'm not sure if someone's just on and out lap and the game wants them to pull over. Adrian's coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. That's not an improvement. So that's RB Racing. That's my bad. So there are actually quite a few drivers into the 1 minute 34s. Our current pole sitter, Matthew Duffin, is one of them in the Ginetta. He is the highest placed Ginetta by an absolute country mile. He is driving that thing much better than anyone else seems to do. The next one below is G. Leach, who is 8 tenths off of the current pole time set by his counterpart in the Ginetta. I'm not sure what the real difference is in between the cars. Again, that's just me being new to this. But we'll probably see what happens during the race as to who's got what and why and how. As we have less than a minute remaining here in qualifying. I'm not sure if we're going to see any last lap shocks or last minute shocks in terms of the positions, as D. Davis is coming up to the final corner. We'll go on board with him, see if he can go to the top of the timesheets. That would be good to catch live. Comes up to the timing line. I don't know which. Oh, it is there. It is the first one. It's 0.005 seconds. The margin between him and Matthew Duffin at the top of the timesheets there. That is a very fast lap time. And Duffin is in the pit lane. So he's not going to go out for another. He's not going to get another lap in. He's happy with where he's currently got. Sully is there. Michael is there. RB Racing is there. Let's go on board with Michael, because I think he's the furthest one around the lap of the real contenders for pole position. He's one. We'll see coming up to the line. He's currently 2 tenths off. Can he potentially scrape? Oh, he's not going to get to the line in time to set another lap. But can he go ahead? No, he can't. That's unfortunately a time for him. He's crossed the line. He cannot improve. Next to cross the line of these front guys will probably be... Oh! That is Michael off. That was at Redgate, I think. And he's gone into the pits. So, yep, that is a humiliation for him. As Emmanuel Mercado has gone to P4 there. Within 2 tenths of the pole position time at the moment. That is very good. As Sully has pulled off to the side of the track, I assume he will be going to the pits. He indeed does. Can D. Davis, though, improve on his previous pole position time? Emmanuel Mercado in the pits. So are most people, to be fair. There are a couple of people still out on flyers. However, not all of them are. As D. Davis, I'm not sure where he currently sits in terms of... oh, he's coming into the pits. He decided to abandon that lap. He's happy with that. So I think he may be on pole position unless Adrian can put in an absolute stonking performance with no time left on the clock. Sorry, it's not. Is that Adrian or is that RB Racing? Yeah, it keeps changing. That's why it keeps changing. It's RB Racing that's on track. Sorry for that misinterpretation. He's currently 3 tenths off of the pole position time. But I'm not sure if this will be a time that was good enough to get him into the top 5 potentially. It was not, unfortunately, for Adrian. He stays where he is. So, pole position time was set by D. Davis on a 1 minute 34.670. 0.005 seconds back. Infinitesimally small margins. It's back to P2. And then the third place car is within 0.025 seconds. Emmanuel Mercado takes home P4, followed by Michael, RB Racing, Jason Ireland, Adrian, and Jay Clouden following further behind. M. Matthews there in P10, followed by Andrew, Joe, J. G. Leach, Carrot, J. GT Jimbo, Sam, CH Customs, Eric, Diz, B. Craig, Bordeaux Bex, Nook Waste, Whitcomb, M. Tucker, Salent G, Graham, I assume that is, Green, Gooday, and Taylor, and A. Taylor. And then you've got obviously me as a commentator, but I'm not racing. We have 52 seconds left until we start this race. I'm not sure if we go for a formation lap beforehand or if that has already been done. We will see when we go green. I will do my best to cover the action as thoroughly as possible. This is my first race start commentary in this game, so if I do it badly, I sincerely apologise, but I will do my best to provide you with a good race. We have a 1 hour race, but we will have as this guy in my ear reminding me it's 20 seconds to go. We will have an hour, but we will have a pit window opening with 20 minutes into the race, and I think it closes 20 minutes after that, so it's between 20 and 40 minutes. So we're going to move into the race event now. I'm not sure when we're going to get going. I can't see any lights on my screen, but let's hope we can see, and we are getting going. I think, is this a formation lap? Yes, it is. It's a formation lap. I knew it was going to eventually be, and I was going to gear up for a start, and it'd be super hyped up, and then it just be not super hyped up. Less than 1 second between first and 13th. Brilliant. Let's hope we can have a clean race. Come on, Team FBR. Bring it home. Good luck, SimPlay drivers. Better than I was, lol. Full formation lap. Yeah, that's just me not knowing the rules. So, thing. I hope that I can provide you a good entertainment today, even though I am from a different background of commentary. Hopefully I won't be like some other commentators that I've seen other real-life racing series. Graham is in the pits. So is R. Fernie, who has just joined the session. I'm not exactly sure why. I assume we'll be starting from the pit lane, potentially. Is that a thing in this game? I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but yeah. Hopefully I won't be as bad as other commentators in other racing series that I see in real life. For example, Jermaine Genus, he's a pundit, he's a football pundit, yet he managed to get onto a Formula E broadcast, which shows just how unserious that series is. As they're all bunching up here. And I don't know exactly what's happening. Obviously, I assume you all have to follow the leader. That's a pretty simple assumption to make, and it's someone that I have made. It's good, because you see in F1 league racing, you see drivers just ignoring that, just going ahead of the leader, because they're like, oh, I want to get it done quickly, not realising their tyres go cold, and then they complain when they get bad starts. But anyway, coming into the last section of the circuit, we've got a chicane and then a hairpin. Obviously, there is an alternate layout of the track which takes you right here, and it's a right-hand chicane. You might be able to see it, you can't actually see it from this camera angle, but there is one, I can assure you, and I'm pretty sure you all know that. You're just like, why is he saying this? He's acting like he's smart. As we gear up for the start of this event. We're all coming around the final corner. I'm not sure if it'll be a, obviously it's a formation lap, so I assume it won't be a rolling start, but if it is, then I'll have somewhere to go as they're all bunching up. We do have guys still in the pit lane, I think. Graham is still in the pit lane. But there is another car that isn't anymore. I can't remember who it was who was in the pits before. There was a 29th car, but I think they have fallen away. But yeah, D. Davis will take us onto the grid here. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to get a... Is it going to be a rolling start? Yes, I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
The question is, do you have it in you to make it epic?
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga in cinemas May 24.
Having a little trim down there, are we? Interesting. Make sure you don't take off a little too much. Stop your shower scene becoming a horror movie with Gillette Intimate. Skin-first technology helping to protect from nicks, cuts, and smoothly trimming all kinds of intimate and body hair. It's the trimmer you can really, really trust when it really, really matters.
The middle half of the first lap, let me just get my words out first. Sully is leading, followed by Michael, RB Racing, D. Davis, Jason Ireland, Jay Clouden, and Matthews. Andrew, for some reason, it says serving what he said, or he has a drive-through. It's not serving a drive-through. He has a drive-through. So it's a Team FBR 1, 2, 3 here on the opening lap, and we'll hopefully see some interesting racing between him and Michael for this lead. As we see, they are going side by side into the hairpin. Sully maintains it. I think he's gone around the outside. He's the one on the outside going into the next corner. We're in fact going to see a battle for second here between the white car, the 16 of D. Davis, who's in fact in second. This timing chart is crap at not updating. There we go. They are now updating. Do they only update when you go across the line? That is really crap, as I think that is Andrew serving his drive-through penalty in the background, so I'm going to have to learn people's numbers off by heart. That's going to be fun. So RB Racing is currently leading, followed by D. Davis, Michael, Sully, Jason Ireland, close behind his rival. As obviously RB Racing setting the fastest lap on the first lap. What would you expect? Nothing else, really. As there is changing. Oh, I think someone's gone off there. I'm trying to see, because there is someone who's falling down. It is Adrian. Adrian has fallen off the track. That is bad for him. And we're going to move back towards the battle for the front. So Adrian seems to have gone off. Sorry I didn't catch that. I should have been paying more attention. I saw him falling down the pack, and I was trying to get on board with him, but he just wasn't letting me. But we move towards the second part of lap 2 here now. They're starting to kind of spread out from each other. Jason Ireland isn't spreading out from the back of Sully in front of him, though. He's darting to the inside. I think we could see as another driver has gone off, I think. Duffin has gone off. He's falling down the pack for some reason. Someone's falling down the pack. Because I keep seeing gaps changing gaps fall. That's really weird. Not sure how that works, but we see Clouded on the Jason Ireland on the inside of a car in front of me. I think that is Sully in the 88. Up the inside, he goes into the final corner. I was right for once this time at identifying drivers. So, yep, we go to the third lap here now, here in Donington Park. Sorry, no, second lap. Why did I say third lap? It's not the third lap. Don't worry, I'm like Murray Walker. That BMW is making sure to get out of the way. I assume he's just a lap down already, which is really, really bad for him. You don't want to be a lap down in any race, never mind with it right at the start when you've got to let everyone through so you don't blow them up. Sully is falling down. Someone is falling down the pack actually. As we see, I'm not exactly sure what's happening here because I keep seeing this gap thing keeps changing, and so it makes me feel like someone's falling down the pack when they're not. So RB Racing still leads after taking the lead on the first lap, following that little carnage on the opening corner. D Davis is in second place, followed by Michael, Sully, Jason Ireland, Jay Clouden is in P3, Matthews in P4, but he's going to be challenged round the outside by the 131 of G Leach there. Round the outside he does go, there's a foul further in front as well, but we're going to see these two go side by side into the chicane. Is that going to work out? Yes, it will. It's Matthews who has to back out there, unfortunately for his sake. But that was good racing between those two drivers. Clean and fair and firm and nicely done from both. We're now going to see into the final corner of the circuit. It looks so slow, but I'm used to F1 cars, so it's not slow. It is indeed still quick. If I told a GT driver they were slow, they'd probably have my eyes out. But we move towards here. As for some reason, Jason he was being registered as a lap down. It's because they are making sure that the timing screens are updated. But we're moving towards, as Jason Ireland has fallen off the back of the pack of the cars in front. RB Racing, D Davis and Michael have moved into an advanced position. Sully, I think, is trying to challenge. He wasn't trying to challenge him. I don't know why I thought he was trying to challenge him in front. But we do see the gap of the, between the third and second place car decreasing. 54 minutes to go here, but we are seeing the gap close up between these drivers, between these two drivers, should I say. It's also getting close between M. Matthews and G. Leach. That battle will continue as he goes to the inside. He's taking a different line to the car in front of him. I'm not sure what the reason behind that would be, but we're going to see coming into the chicane. No move this time round. Obviously, we saw the other way around. He was overtaken into the final into that corner last time. As D Davis is, they're falling back at the front. D Davis has fallen behind. Sorry, not fallen behind. They've just slowed down, and they aren't as bunched up as they were before. They don't look like they're 8 tenths behind. I'll tell you that for sure. So I think that's just a timing update issue. D Davis is now, 4 tenths behind. That is not a gap of 8 tenths. But Michael has fallen back. Jason Ireland is even further back, but he's managed to. There's a car off in the background. That is the grey McLaren of, I can't tell you who, because I don't know numbers. But we're going to see on the inside here the Mercedes overtaking the 123 McLaren. So that is in fact Jay Clouden and Emmanuel Mercado. So good job from him there to move up the position. As we see all these drivers follow each other through Craner curves. Someone got on the grass there. I'm not sure if that will be problematic for them. But yeah, we are on board with M. Matthews at the moment. He is just behind G. Leach, who is fronting this train. It's really 3 cars. And then another 3 cars behind. So it's not really a train. It's more of a carriage, we'll say. But going on the inside, potentially, into the uphill right-hander. Surely not. You never see a move into here. Or do you? And that's just me being in a wrong mindset. But we see Matthews has overtaken Emmanuel Mercado there. Great job. Sorry, not Emmanuel Mercado. Oh, there's a spinner. There's a spinner. It's James Clouden who's gone off into... Sorry, Jay Clouden. No, I said James. I don't know if his first name is James. That would be a good coincidence if it was. But he's gone off there. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. But we see coming in towards the hairpin corner, we have a McLaren of Emmanuel Mercado. The inside of G. Leach contact through the corner, and that pushes the Ginetta out wide, and it's Mercado who maintains the lead. He maintains 8th place, should I say, but going up the inside again, more contact. These two are, oh, that is NASCAR style. I will bump you out of the way since you bumped me out of the way, you idiot. That is some great rubbing and racing there between those two drivers. We are seeing now we've got both the Ginettas of G. Leach and Matthew Duffin fighting side by side. Duffin on the inside. He's going to try and make it work through the Craner curves, but this is going to go about, if he's trying to go side by side from here, it's going to go about as well as something that doesn't end well. He decides to back out of that eventually, Matthew Duffin, but yep, we're going to move towards this. Oh, he's gone onto the grass. He's gone onto the grass to 55. That is Matthew Duffin onto the grass. And he's going to try and make the move. Potentially, there's going to be three wide, not three wide, but there's three cars in the space of about 3 car lengths trying to go for a move. We've got Matthew Duffin being followed, by G Leach and Emmanuel Mercado, who has proven himself to be a little bit of a menace here in the opening laps. We could call him Mercado the Matador, the Bullmaster. It's a term they use in Spain for just like in general, like a bull kind of thing. But Matthew Duffin there, just right behind him. I think he's going to get attacked by Mercado here into the hairpin. If we go by what's happened in the past, actually no, he's decided to be sensible as we come in towards the tight right-hand corner. G Leach has gone deep. And he's got Duffin on his outside. Could he potentially have Mercado right behind, also looking to make a move? Duffin is trying to keep the position. He's trying to go around the outside, and he does indeed not get the position. But I think we could see some more battling between these guys for 7th, 8th and 9th place to come. Duffin at the inside into the red gate. He's going to try and make it work, and he does make it work. Forces his counterpart onto not onto the grass, but just in general. These are all the same team, by the way. I'd just like to point that out. These are all on the same team, and they're battling like it's for their lives. I'm not sure if that's just camaraderie because they know they're not going to get caught, or if that is genuine I want to beat you kind of stuff. But Mercado is looming behind the back of G Leach there. Oh, and he's went his way onto the grass, and Mercado up the inside there. Oh, he doesn't make the move though, unfortunately for his sake. That could have been a potentially good move, and he's spun it. He's gone onto the grass, put the throttle on too hard, and he's lost the back end and spun the car through 360 degrees, makes his way back onto the track, just behind the Team FBR cars. That is a disaster for him. He's down to 13th place after that little conundrum. That is not good for his or his team's sake. That's why you don't want to press too hard battling your teammates, because you lose points overall if you do have a problem with each other. We are 7 laps in. We have had 12 minutes. We are a fifth of the way, approximately, through this session. Sully is going side by side with Jason Ireland for 4th place. This is a non-inter-team battle for once. We're going to see as Sully trying to go to the inside of the Craner curves. Bang, bang! Contact between the two drivers. Coming down the hill in towards Craner curves. Can we see potentially a move? They are still trying to go side by side. That's going to end in disaster if you haven't got two competent drivers racing against each other. And they are competent, so they haven't made a collision. As we come towards the rest of this lap, I need to get those corner names up again. Is that McLean's? It is McLean, I was right. And now in towards Coppice. Yep, we got. See, now I'm getting used to this. I'm starting to feel much more confident than I was before. But yeah, looking like there are some good battles shaping up and down the field. I assume what it is when it's going blank is when you go over sectors. I assume that's what that is, because it does the same when you're going over the start-finish line. So we've got 47 minutes left to go in this race. And we don't have any. I mean, we might have Emmanuel Mercado trying to go back through the pack. We do have him trying to go past Bodo Bex into the hairpin. He's made it work. Fair play to him. And he has made that position. Let me just check that is the right car I've just identified. No, it wasn't. He just got past Joe. That's me getting the positions wrong. I apologise. I'm getting used to the interfaces here. I'm used to F1 interfaces where the positions are regularly updated and it tells you when someone isn't there. That's just me having a skill issue, though, I assume. Because also it's not easy to identify people's numbers. And it was actually Barback. Someone's gone off on the grass. Someone's gone onto the grass on the exit. One of the BMWs has just ceded a few positions further behind. Is that Joe? I don't think it is. I think it's... there are positions up and down moving. He has severe damage. Look at that. Front end of his car is caved in. Not sure exactly what he's been doing, but he's clearly been bumping and riding someone's rear end. Going into McLaren's there and now into Coppice. We have one of the thick Mercedes boys chasing a little tiny little Ginetta. This is like the baby boy and the big granddaddy of racing cars going up against each other. It's like going from an electric kettle to a V8 blender that you see on Top Gear, looking at those two cars. I know one will be better in the corners and one will be better on the straights, but it's good to see how different the cars can be and yet still be in the same performance category. It's like when you look at when you watch the Paralympics and you see, oh look, that guy's got disabilities in his arms, yet this other guy that he's racing against has disabilities in his legs, and they're in the same category. It's interesting to see. Good evening, everyone. Says peaceful stepdad. Hope you're more peaceful than my stepdad. Anyway, we're going to move on to lap 9 here. 45 minutes remaining. Sully now tracking behind Jason Ireland here for 5th place. I think he's lost a position because last time I checked he wasn't there. Let me just check that. You can all hear my voice. You can all hear I was just checking because I couldn't hear it before. Carrot is also close behind one of the other drivers. There's someone going slowly there. One of the Team FBR cars, I think that was. Carrot, it may be, because he is not the same gap he was behind those other cars. Sully still right behind Jason Ireland. Remember, these two are not on the same team. And he's searching for a move, but doesn't get it into the hairpin. Differing lines there. Jason Ireland takes the... sorry, no. Hold on. So, that is... Jason... So, let me just check the numbers. 84 car... is behind... Oh, so it's Sully leading... Yeah, brilliant. So, they made a pass on to run this lap and it hasn't updated. Stupid. Oh, Adrian is off. Adrian just went off the track. He's now in 9th place. And we see the cars behind. Someone else has gone. I think that's GT Jimbo. Off the track, and he is onto the grass. Indeed. That was a bad moment from him there. That's a problem for him. But he's managed to make his way back onto the circuit. Emmanuel Mercado is making his way back through the pack after initially having issues and spinning out. I think that's... the Porsche just letting him through there. B. Craig just letting him through. There's no need to fight someone who's clearly faster than you, I assume is his logic there. I mean, I'm a person who just doesn't like getting overtaken anyway, so I'm just a bit of a menace. But we see... The chat is popping off. We've got people saying hello. We've got people being civil and nice with each other. As Jay Clouded moves onto the grass there, and he's going to be overtaken by Joe up the inside, methinks. Oh, I think we've just seen some contact there. The 36 there. And well, that does not look like a number 14 on... No, it's not, because it's not Joe, it's GT Jimbo. This is very strange, having to deal with leaderboards that don't constantly update for you. I've got to memorise each driver's numbers, which I assume will get easier throughout my commentary experience, but... Yep, I'll have to get used to this. And I'm going to... You're all on this journey with me, or whatever bollocks that another commentator would come up with. Yeah, we're 11 laps into this race. And it's looking good for the leader, RB Racing. He's currently 3 seconds out in front from D. Davis, followed by Michael. Sully is leading Jason Ireland by now 1.4 seconds. That gap has increased in recent times. Dust is being kicked up, but things I can never tell who it is because this camera angle does not really give you the best angle of someone's wheels dipping onto the turf. And now we've got Adrian right behind G Leach here, coming in towards the right-hander. That is Coppice, methinks. Stop saying methinks. It makes me sound right weird if I say that. But I think we've just seen a... Have we just seen a pass? Jason Ireland is... sorry, D Davis has just lost... He's lost 2 positions. He must have gone off on that lap. We didn't see it. I didn't see it. But he's lost a couple of positions now. And he's down to 4th place. Jason Ireland was right behind him at one point. So that means he made a mistake in the second sector that I didn't spot because I was too busy looking elsewhere. But that's a problem for Davis because he was up in the runners-up position. And yeah. Everyone is still yet to make their stops. Obviously, they can't physically pit yet. Or I don't think it'll count even if they do. I'm not sure if it's like F2 where you can technically pit, but it won't count towards your mandatory stops if you pit outside the window you're allowed to pit in. This is again me learning. But yeah, it's looking to be some good racing here. We've seen some good action so far. It's not just been a bore fest. It's not been like Formula 1 in real life. And now we are entering the pit stop window.
This is you on your first day as a teacher. This is a class you'll inspire. This is a lesson you'll learn from her and them.
And this is a day we forget.
These are all the lives you'll shape. This is the one you'll shape the most. Search Get Into Teaching.
Meet Darren. Darren never used to like the motorway. Then one day, he discovered a better way. Now Darren never hogs the middle lane and always keeps at least 2 seconds from the vehicle in front, reducing congestion, collisions and transforming his journey. Take it away, Darren.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Say it again now.
Little changes change everything. National Highways.
End of his car mangled in. He's an average BMW driver that you see on a motorway, not necessarily having his front end of his car caved in, but just driving recklessly in general. We've got someone in the pits already. It's Matthew Duffin. Matthew Duffin is instantly coming in for his mandatory stop. G Leach is doing the same thing as well. So 2 drivers into the pit lane. I'm not sure if they'll be repairing damage and that is why they're doing it, or if they just want to get it out of the way. Some drivers just want to get it out of the way. Right side affected, movement limited, but still here. Absolutely. Yeah, mate, I have limited use of my left side, very limited use of my left-hand side of my body, and I can assure you it is possible to race like this. Obviously, it's not ideal, but obviously you want to recover, but it's not the end of the world if you end up crippled like me. Because you can still kick ass. And then you get sympathy points when you do it as well, which is great. But we move on towards... We are in the pit stop window. Many drivers towards the back have decided to go for a pit stop as well. So not just Duffin and Leach. So many other guys as well. Here he is coming out of the pits, G Leach. Davis is on the way to the final corner, the final hairpin. Obviously, when F1 planned a visit to Donington Park here in 2010, they conceptualized a alternate layout that kind of extended the hairpin and made it kind of like a winding section, as Jason Ireland has made his way into the pit lane from the top 5. So it seems the guys at the very top aren't coming in right away. I assume what they'll do is they will split the race in 2 halves. They'll come in around 30 minutes to go, and either that or there's some strap that you just, if you're in the lead, you might want to do it right at the end, or just split it down the middle, which is what I'd probably do, because I know nothing about strategy, particularly in GT racing. I just know that tyres don't really wear out as quick as they do in other open wheel categories. But yeah, 14 laps in, RB Racing has assumed a very, not dominant, I wouldn't say lead, but a very comfortable lead is what I would say. He can have an amble off the circuit if he wanted to, and not really worry about what happens on his return to the racing surface. Yeah, Joe has come in, so he'll be replacing that mangled front end, I assume. James Ireland is obviously the highest placed driver who has pitted. I'm not sure if we'll see any drivers come into the pit lane this lap. Doesn't seem that way. Your Twitch ads keep playing, by the way. I'm not putting them on, by the way. I am not physically putting them on. Because as you can tell, I'm commentating. I can't reach over to my computer and put them on. I do when I'm F1 League racing, but this is, you have to concentrate a lot more when it's brand new to you. But yeah, we haven't seen any of the top guys come in, apart from Jason Ireland. And is he making inroads on the cars ahead of him? Well, we'll see on the approach to the third sector split at the end of this lap. Gonna try the F1 fun event next week, as I can pause it and AI take over. But ACC, I'm not sure yet. Do whatever you can, mate. Little baby steps. I know when I used to do physiotherapy for my hand, that eventually ended up not working because I was too lazy to do it regularly. It's all about baby steps, mate. It's not about trying to be Superman from day one. I'm sure you probably heard this all before, but it's all about doing everything one step at a time, and doing what your physiotherapist or your doctors say you should do. I never listened to them because I thought I'd just eventually get better, and I didn't, which is a very bad way to look at things. But we've just seen GT Jimbo go off the circuit. He rejoins the circuit just ahead of his teammate Carrot. I wonder what his favourite vegetable is. He goes off into the gravel himself. Seems that there's a bit of problems with him there. Jason Ireland is definitely catching up to this pack at a rate of knots. Like that was 14 seconds last time I looked. He's now 11. If there's an F1 event going on in this league, I might even join that because I'm quite good at F1. Nowhere near as quick as some of these guys. If compared to their if their F1 pace is similar to their ACC pace, definitely not as good as they are. But yep, RB Racing has pulled out a gap in the last couple of laps. I will just say that 8.5 seconds clear of the guys behind. Definitely very confident in his abilities to race consistently and carefully. So yeah, we are seeing. Oh, I'm not sure if I don't think that was a position change. I think that was just the time sheets updating. Adrian and Borrow Becks into the pits. That's two more drivers making their mandatory pit stop with 33 minutes left on the clock. As we tick down the laps, really, not much side by side action that I can see happening. Maybe I'm just awful with the cameras. Because as I said, I'm used to F1 being a lot more forgiving and a lot more like it has arrows, coloured arrows telling you where everyone is going up and down. It doesn't have this thing they have with sector splits. But one thing I can tell you is that GT Jimbo just had a massive wobble coming out of a chicane throughout the entire chicane. Lets his teammate Carrot through on the inside of the hairpin. And does indeed make his way past. So mistakes do cost you. Jason Ireland is most certainly catching up. Drive for penalty for speeding in the pit lane for number 53. That is, let me just check who that is. Green. He is, he's got 25th position. So he wasn't really in contention for much anyway. Graham is 3 laps down. 2 laps down, make that now. So he must have had problems. But yep, Green has a drive-through penalty. Quite a few drivers now have come into the pits. Maybe close to half the field. As that's one of the, I think that's Matthew Duffin off. But I'm directly on board, and I should know that realistically. But It's not Matthew Duffin. It's the same colour car, though. It is green. That is my bad completely. That's my hideous lack of awareness, and he's gone off again. Keep it under control, man. You've got a drive-through penalty. Trying to over-push to try and make up for that drive-through penalty and gain an extra couple of tenths of a second is not going to make up if you go onto the gravel and make yourself look like a right knob. But yeah, Sully's in the pits. One of the leaders finally making their way into the pit lane. With pretty much 30 minutes on the clock. He's doing exactly what I said, which is split. Doing what they do in NASCAR, which is split the stage in half. So he's stopped in the pit window. He always stopped for 25 seconds. We're not going to watch them all stop for 25 seconds. Let's get some onboard action on this. I think we've got on board with D. Davis here. 2.5 seconds behind, or 2.3 seconds behind the driver in front of him, Michael, for Team FBR. 2 Team FBR cars in 1-2. Then it's a 3-4-5 of SimPlay. Then it's a 6th place for Team FBR, as I think that's Sully finally coming out. He's finally making his way out of the pit lane. So he doesn't get a drive through. B. Craig is in. Beauty Jimbo also in. Whitcomb in. And I assume we'll see more drivers making their way in the near future, because obviously 10 minutes to go.
At the halfway mark, keep pushing.
Indeed we are. We are halfway into this race. Oh, drive-through cleared for the number 53. I assume he's just come in to serve that, and that's why he's been cleared. Looks like the case. Jay Goudet. Or Goudet, or whatever. Oh, stop and go 30 seconds for speeding in the pit lane for the number 333. That's B. Craig. Has a 30-second stop and go penalty. I'm not sure why. Is that because he did he get that while serving or what? I'm not sure what's happened there. I don't know why you can get a different penalty to someone else. Is that because he's done it before or something like that? It's like a stacked penalty. Whitcomb making his way out the pit lane now. And number 15 has just got one as well. Who's number 15? That is Graham. Okay, fair enough. He's not really in the race to be able to really lose out much from that. The top guys have all come in. RB Racing, Michael, and a couple of other guys have come in. That leaves D. Davis in the lead. I assume he'll come in either the next lap or the lap after to try and cover off that strategy. There is grass being kicked up in front of him. Let's hope that that's not going to interfere with his racing. He's flashing his lights. I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, he's flashing at a lapped car, saying, get out of the way. I'm coming through. Main do indeed. I'm not sure why he'd flash your lights in the daytime. I'm not sure if it's really visible in the daytime. Again, that's not me. That's me just not knowing. The 15's drive-through has been cleared. I assume they've just come in and served it again. Or just served it in general. But yeah, we are more than halfway through this race now. It's flown by, really. They say time flies when you're having fun. But does time fly when you're coming into the pits? No, it's not. It's just someone pulling over to let other guys through, I assume. There are 2 guys in the pits, Carrot and Tucker. I hope no one heard that. As we see, D. Davis still hasn't come to the pits yet. I assume it will be either this or next lap, because he's going to get perilously close to that 20-minute mark otherwise. I assume it's not very lenient in the actual black mark. I assume it's not, because obviously when it's in like endurance racing, when it hits a 20-minute mark in like Le Mans and stuff, it's when it hits the timer and then one more lap. I assume it's not the same here, where you can be a bit more lenient with it. I assume it is. You have to be in before the 20-minute mark comes around. As Sam makes his way into the pits for Team FBR. Most of the field have now made their mandatory pit stop. Green isn't one of them, though. I'm not one of them, apparently. Nook Waste hasn't. Diz and Sam... No, so Sam has now. Nook Waste has just come in. Stop and go cleared for the 333 car. Davis... yeah, D. Davis, finally get your words out, right? Moves past the laps car. and I assume will be coming in sooner rather than later, because surely it can be beneficial to run your tyres as far as this, as that lap's car does go. Yeah, he's into the pits now. So that's the leader into his stop. We'll see where he comes out around the other guys, like RB Racing, for example. Jake Clouden could lead this unless he comes in under his own accord. And now we're coming around the final corner. Is he coming in? Yes, he is. Makes his way to the pit, so RB Racing will assume the lead. He moves past Clouden. He will move past D. Davis, although you can't see D. Davis. He is making his way out the pit lane. And RB Racing is well in the lead. He's already out of Redgate and coming down towards the Craner curves. Sully is just come out of Redgate, so... oh, there's a car off in the background! Who is that? That's one of the white cars. I'm not sure who that was. I'm genuinely not sure who that was. That's my lack of reaction times there. Now, we'll see. Potentially. As the gap between Sully and D. Davis is definitely smaller than it was when before the pit stops. But D. Davis does have now fresh tyres, or fresher tyres. Not sure how much of a difference that will make, but it will make at least some difference. We are 24 minutes left, so we are approximately 6/10 of the way through the race. Everyone, I think, has made... oh, apart from Green. Green hasn't made his pit stop. Everyone else has. DJ Phil Green. I just realised that. DJ Phil, not DJP Hill. I don't know why I thought of that. But yeah. We are now watching all these cars filter through the first corner. Some battles are close, some aren't. Diz is down in 17th place. It said the gaps were close here, but they're not. Carrot is a bit close behind Andrew. Sully has caught right up to D. Davis. I think D. Davis has made another mistake. He's being closed right up by the Aston Martin driver. This could get interesting. That gap is no longer... it's no longer very far apart. It was about 1.6 seconds last lap. It's now 0.7. He's lost a second in one sector. Is he going to move to the inside of a chicane? No, he backs out of it in the end. But he pressures D. Davis, and that could lead to him getting a bad exit off of the chicane into the hairpin. He could launch a dive bomb at the inside. He doesn't. D. Davis goes defensive. He will push him out wide if he tries to stick it around the outside. That's what I'd do. But now going into the second hairpin, surely he's not going to go into the second hairpin. There's no need to. You've got a straight. He's going to dummy. He's sold him a dummy. D. Davis is going to try and get a switch back on the exit. But can he do so? No, I don't think he can. That's Sully into second place. On with 22 minutes to go. He is up into second place now. And D. Davis is searching for a gap behind to filter into. If I was him, I wouldn't be trying to take these alternate lines. Actually, I might do because of dirty air. In fact, dirty air is not really a thing though in GT racing, is it? Just try and stick with him, mate. If you try and stick with him, you'll be fine. No, it is all you can really do. Because he is dropping back anyway. As someone who's gone off in the front of them, I assume that's a lapped car and not the leader. Because I assume the grass would have dissipated by now. There's now Sully is not pulling away from D. Davis, which makes me think that it was indeed a mistake from the SimPlay Motorsports driver rather than a genuine lack of pace from him. But we'll see. He's fallen back 2 tenths in that sector, but 2 tenths is a very negligible amount. It's not the end of the world, you can gain it back. The track temperature has increased, by the way. It was 28 degrees last time I looked, it's now 30. I'm just going to get my phone charger. But yeah, all this gap has closed back up. Oh, it's properly closed up now. Unless that is lapped cars. It is indeed, I think it is indeed lapped cars. Yep, it is a lapped car that's got in the way there. I was like, why have they suddenly got closer than they were before? Right. Charger has been plugged in. We are ready to go for the last 20 minutes. Everyone has already made their stops, so no one needs to worry. Actually, no, DJ Phil hadn't. He now comes in. And the pit window is now closed. Not that anyone would want to make another pit stop, but it is now closed. And RB Racing has completed 24 laps of this Donington Park circuit. We get your words out. Of the inside of another lapped car he goes. Not sure. It's a shame that you can only get the interval gaps. I'm not sure how to get the gaps to leader. He's certainly done a good job making light work of everyone so far. Blue flags being waved. I didn't know blue flags were in GT Racing. I thought it was a case of the faster guy has to just get past on his own. I didn't realise there were actual blue flags. And now he's passing another lapped car. What a surprise. D. Davis is falling back from Sully. Sully and... Oh, actually, no. D. Davis is also losing time to Michael. So there may be some problems with his car. Maybe he geared it up for more one lap speed. And just as I say that, Michael skips over the grass and probably loses a bit of time there. Jay Clouden is a full lap behind G Leach in front of it. Oh, sorry, G Leach in front of him. And I'm not sure what the reason for that is. But I'm not yawning because this race is boring. I'm yawning because I have only had about 6 hours sleep. And I woke up at like 9 o'clock this morning. Did a lot of editing for my YouTube channel. And then moved on. So yeah, we've had everyone come into the pits. The pit window is now closed. I've just realised Clouden was never a lap behind that guy. It was just they were coming across the line as I said that, and it made it look like they were a lap down. Me being stupid. So RB Racing currently holds fastest lap. He currently holds the lead of the race as well. Really managing to basically have a stranglehold on this race so far. No real pressure from anyone else since the start. Drive through for track limits for the 2-2-3 car. GT Jimbo gets drive-through penalty for exceeding track limits. That will drop him back from 13th place. Bad job for him there. Will he come in and serve at this lap? I assume potentially he could be. And he does indeed peel into the pit lane to serve his punishment. 16 minutes remaining here in Donington Park. And yeah, it's looking like a very spicy, or not really spicy, as his drive-through has now been cleared. Jimbo will exit the pit lane and have lost quite a significant chunk of time. And now 27 laps in, we should be able to get about a 36 lap race out of this Donington Park circuit, maybe 37 or 38, depending on when RB Racing crosses the line, or if he crosses the line in first, because that's not a guaranteed. It's not a guaranteed proposition. Anything can happen. Admittedly, he's looked fairly flawless throughout this race, but he could easily make a mistake, similar to any other one of these drivers. Matthew Duffin is catching up to M. Matthews. No, he's not. He's just dropped back. And just as I said that, I was like to point out that where is he? Emmanuel Mercado has managed to recover decently well, actually, from his earlier spin. He was 13th. He's now back up to 8th place. And hopefully for his sake, we'll be looking to gain even more positions, as Michael is now within a second of D. Now, that's another 2/10 lost in that sector. I know he's getting past the lapped car. I don't think the lapped car is helping him out, to be fair. However, we'll see just how he can respond to Michael's advances. We will see as they come across the timing line for sector 3, or I'm sorry, for sector 2 right now. 0.4 seconds now. That gap is just, it's not just closing up in terms of time, it's visually closing up as well. That's how you know it's properly closing. We'll keep with them because Emmanuel Mercado is also, he's not getting, that's another pack of drivers completely. Emmanuel Mercado has absolutely stormed up to the back of Matthew Duffin now. The aggressive McLaren driver, where I've ever heard that before, cough cough, Lewis Hamilton in 2011, is making his way up into the top 7 positions. I know my mistake from Duffin should allow him to go through, and it doesn't actually allow him to go through. He doesn't have the momentum, but it does potentially give him the option to make a move into the first corner. It does not make the move into the first corner either. They're very close up front and they're very close here, and I do not know which battle to focus on, because it doesn't look likely that Michael will make a pass. Yes, it does actually. He nearly goes through on into McLean's corner, but doesn't eventually make it. Grass on the tyres for someone in front. But Emmanuel Mercado coming up to the corner, or sorry, after this one will be coming up to the corner where he made the error before. Meanwhile, Michael is all over the rear end of D. Davis. He cannot make a mistake now. Neither of them can really. mistakes aren't really something you should aim to make, but if you're going to make one, don't make it when a guy's right behind you, because you'll lose a position. I mean, that's pretty much common sense. I've just said what everyone was thinking anyway, but I suppose that's the job of the commentator anyway. 11 minutes left. Nearly 80% done in this race. Michael, right all over the rear of D. Davis. There's no question about it. He is probably the quicker driver at the moment, but he can't seem to get by. Matthew Duffin has got Emmanuel Mercado right behind him. He has more of an opportunity to get by because there is a car in front of him, and I think that will allow, potentially, if the guy in front makes a mistake, it could allow him to potentially pull through. Michael is following right behind D. Davis, and is looking to make a move in the coming laps. He seems to have not backed off per se, but he seems to be keeping his distance, is probably a more accurate phrase for what's going on between those two. Now, Duffin is catching right up to Matthews, and with all these three are fighting over real positions in terms of points for the team. Emmanuel Mercado obviously lost loads of positions trying to recover from a spin earlier on. Will he risk the same thing now, is the question. D. Davis still in front of Michael. And through goes through on a lapped car. Oh, dips to Williams of a gravel and Matthews. That could unsettle Matthew Duffin. It does. But yeah, I think he's going to go for a move potentially into the hairpin. He's going to go to the inside defensive. Goes M. Matthews. But I think he could get the under and over on him. He doesn't. He tries to go for the outside, but could allow Mercado to capitalise on the two in front of him squabbling. We'll keep an eye on the trio of them as we come in towards the tricky last hairpin bend on this circuit. And that's Emmanuel Mercado pushing Matthew Duffin through the corner and losing ground because he pushed him at the wrong part of the corner. Coming up towards the line, we have 9 minutes remaining. That will give us probably about, I'm not sure exactly, that'll probably give us about 9 more laps, about 7 more laps, potentially. Will it give us 7 more laps? Or will it give us, yeah, about 7 more laps, I'd say. Because 2 laps will be 3 minutes. No, 6 laps. Around about 6 laps, 6 or 7 laps. Yeah, that's about right. Bang on for me. And now Michael is still right behind, still looking for a move, but just can't say he's not ballsy enough to send one up the inside into one of these hairpins. I know I would be. I've always been one for a cocky up the inside, barge you out of the way move, but it seems he's a lot more reserved. He isn't willing to risk potentially getting damage or losing out on even more positions just for getting another one. But if you don't try, you never get your wish, is the way I always see it. And that's Matthews there, going side by side. It could be free ways, free wide into the hairpin. He backs out of it completely. Goes from 6 to 8, but he goes back to 6 on the exit because he's got the best exit out of a lot of them. Now they're going to go side by side potentially. Another free wide moment into the hairpin again. That's Emmanuel Mercado right on the inside. He's going to try and hold up Matthew Duffin on the exit, but he doesn't do it sufficiently to be able to hold him. But actually, he does do it sufficiently to be able to hold him behind. Emmanuel Mercado weaving on the straight. I'm not sure how legal that is. The excessive weaving now, that wasn't even necessary, that weaving wasn't. But Duffin now cuts off Matthews. Matthews has gone from 6 to 8, and Mercado has gone from 8 to 6. Duffin's there in the middle. Like, I haven't gone anywhere yet. I've been involved in all of this. Why can't I get involved? Well, he has been involved. He just hasn't been gaining from it. And now we are on board with Michael, trying to get past D. Davis. Can he potentially replicate some of the side-by-side action we've been seeing so far? Potentially into the chicane. He backs out of it again. Why are you going to go for a move if you're going to back out and lose half a second because you're taking the title line into the chicane? If you're going to make a move, commit to it in the hairpin, rather than wasting losing half a second to the car in front because you're too scared to go for a move. You're getting sound interference. I'm not sure what that... I'm not sure. Let's see if... Oh! Contact! Duffin and Matthews come together. That's a spin, and he's spun it in the grass again. That's what you get when you battle between drivers. Yep, so I can hear it on the stream as well. I've tried to mitigate it. I've put my mic on and off again, but it seems like that's not worked. I don't know what that issue is. If it can be resolved without me having to intervene, it will be massively helpful because we have a good race going on right now. I'll quickly go onto my Discord to check that I'm not being called at by people in the server. I understand it's very frustrating. I wouldn't be able to listen to that sound. If you want to just mute me and just watch the racing that's going on, I would not complain. I wouldn't be offended because I wouldn't want to listen to what essentially sounds like that kind of stuff. As Michael moves past a couple of lapped cars again. We're moving to the final hairpin. We have less than 5 minutes remaining in this race. Let me hope these issues have been sorted. They haven't been sorted, of course they haven't. We watch these guys go at it again. Emmanuel Mercado is leading, and Matthews by a considerable margin. Matthew Duffin has fallen behind Adrian, which could potentially cause some tension in the SimPlay Motorsport camp, because Adrian has obviously gained from their cars into rivalry, and now finally side by side between Michael and D Davis, but D Davis eventually forces him out. Will he go the inside into Coppice? Potentially he covers the inside. He's now going to go to the outside into the corner. Another block thrown. We need to see what happens on the exit of the corner. He's going to take the tight line on the inside, but it's not enough. That's the closest he's got over the past couple of laps. But can he potentially send a dummy? He's going on the inside, going down the outside to the inside. And the chicane finally has the balls to send. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the balls to send it to the inside of the chicane. And now he will go over time. You know, Albert Einstein once said... Oh, actually, no, never mind. He got really close to the hairpin. I was about to say, you know how Albert Einstein once said that if you do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, you're stupid. This guy has tried... he's tried it twice, which is not over and over and over again. But in my opinion, that move is never going to work into the chicane. You have to be all the way alongside before you even get on the braking to be able to successfully pull a move into a corner like that. And even then, you lose a ton of time to the cars behind. We are coming into the final 3 minutes of this race. RB Racing has absolutely cakewalked it, if I'm being honest. Hasn't looked in doubt since the first lap of the event. And now we're just moving towards the final... Well, I assume it'll be a final 2 laps, maybe 3, if I'm not familiar with the rules of how it finishes. Sparks flying off of the underside of the cars as they go over the cars. Maybe I've not realised that, and that detail's always been there. So we'll see, coming in towards the final sector. Can Michael send one last attack in the coming laps? There is a bit of dust being flicked up from, I assume, a car ahead, because it wasn't between any of these two. D Davis has been on his best behaviour when it comes to staying on track. Pretty much, yeah, it was another, I think it was a lapped car, letting everyone through. Yeah, I can't tell you I can't tell you guys what's wrong with the audio. I assume at the end of this race we'll try and get it fixed, because it is very frustrating. If you want to mute me, absolutely do so, because I understand if you don't want to listen to my voice being put through a meat grinder. It's not my fault. I don't know what it is. I'll have to talk with the guys afterwards. Oh, are some people not getting it? This is even more confusing. I'm getting it through my own phone stream. And now, Michael, still right behind. We have less than a minute remaining. RB Racing will continue around for another lap. And now, finally, Michael on the inside through the long right-hander of Coppice. But he's not going to get alongside going into the chicane. Do not send a dive bomb if you're not willing to actually send a dive bomb. Is he willing to send it finally? No, he isn't. What are you doing, man? I can now officially say that Albert Einstein was right about you. But maybe I can't, because he's going to go around the outside into the hairpin. I assume he'll do the switch back on the exit. That's a textbook move if he can get it done. Leader is on the final lap. This battle is for a lot, because it's for the final podium position, and it's between two different rival teams. On the inside, potentially into the final hairpin, covers the move. But can we get a good move on the exit? RB Racing is going through onto their final lap, 12 seconds clear of us. But we're going to stay on board with this for as long as we can, because it is so important to see what is essentially the best battle on the circuit so far right now. Michael gets a good run off of Redgate in towards the Craner curves. They're going side by side. Michael edges in front, and he's got the move done through the Craner curves. He goes, and that is a fantastic manoeuvre from him. Got the better run off Redgate. Got the move done before the Craner curves even came around, and into P3 he goes. Even if he couldn't do it in the last sector, he's done it in the first, and that is a fantastic manoeuvre from the FBR driver. There is no doubt about that. Meanwhile, RB Racing is going for a fantastic run. I mean, we'll check. I don't think there's going to be another move between those two. RB Racing has been absolutely clear of most of the drivers in this field so far. As you see a spinning McLaren, I think that was there. But RB Racing in the Aston Martin for Team FBR. It's a Team FBR 1, 2, 3. At one time, I think it was a SimPlay Motorsport 1, 2. But it's not going to be that now, because RB Racing is going to cross the line, and he is going to win here in Donington Park. Sully will take second place once he comes round the final corner. Yep, he will. There's green flares going off in the background. Not sure how I feel about that, but we come home in second place. Michael leads home at D. Davis after a last lap pass for a podium position. D. Davis in fourth. Jason Ireland comes home to take fifth for SimPlay Motorsport. Emmanuel Mercado, after spinning early on, managed to recover to a very respectable sixth. If he did not spud, he could have potentially got a top 5. And he could have been in that battle between, actually no, maybe not. Maybe not in the battle between Davis and Michael. But the top 10 are slowly making their way towards the final corner and across the line. Duffin and Leach going side by side across the finish line. Duffin eventually winning out though. Sam is going to be the final guy. Is going to be the first guy outside of the top 10. Move your microphone away from your phone away from my phone isn't actually playing anything. My phone isn't actually playing anything. It's not actually playing any volume, but it may be the reason. Volume. I'll check that. Sam takes home P11. Carrot P12. Bodo Bex is in the pits in P13. And that covers your whole lot, really. That was a good race to cover. Not the most exciting, not the most enthralling, but as that is okay. Was that really caused by my phone just being close to my head? That's weird. know, sometimes it baffles me how technology works sometimes. The session has ended. So, I'm not sure if that concludes the coverage, because I got told I was doing it from 7 o'clock till 10 PM.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Are we going for another race?
Are we going for another
That is the one. Okay. So thank you guys. That is the most unprofessional way. I'm not sure if you know, Matthew, but there was some audio glitches.
I'm not sure if you know.
Stupid me thought that a phone being near a microphone wouldn't.
Thought that a phone being near a microphone wouldn't.
Okay. So is that me done then, and I can end my stream once I've properly closed
off?
off?
Is that me done then, and I can end my stream once I've properly closed off?
Yep. Thank you everyone for tuning in for this event. It was interesting to see how GT racing works from an F1 perspective, and I hope to cover more races in the future. I assume this session is not something we're doing. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I've been Nedzo. I'm Nedzo. I don't say I've been. I has been Nedzo. And I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.